Hello everyone out there. Today I will be doing a toy review for a Kamen Rider figure that came out today. I have just moved from South Japan to Osaka, which is a much bigger city I was living in. Unfortunately I had some casualties, such as this Kamen Rider toy. He lost his arm. But I'll talk to you more about that and why a little bit more later, because I think it's kind of prominent, important towards a figure review. This is not a toy you'll be able to buy in America or Canada or England, as far as I know, easily at least. You can probably go on an import store and buy it. If you don't like toy reviews, if you don't like Kamen Rider Fourze, if you don't like YouTube, I suggest you think about this guy. This is a crazy wild dog from somewhere, but he has a t-shirt that says somebody in Williamsville, New York loves you. Somebody! I don't know who, you don't know who, but I'm sure somebody does. Okay, now today we're going to look at the Kamen Rider Fourze figure. Okay, now this is a package of him. The toy line is called FMCS, Fourze Module Change Series. He comes with 4 accessories. As you see, this is the figure itself. This is the drill module, his radar module, his launcher module, and his rocket module. On the top of the box, you just see the icon for the series, and on the side we see him in his rocket module, and then we see him in the launcher module. On the bottom of the box you just have the name, first one in the series, and then we have him with his radar module and his drill module. On the back of the box we show him using his rider kick, which is entitled a limit break, using his rocket and drill modules. Here's a picture of the figure himself, and shows that he is able to move his head back, kind of like he's taking off, flying in through the air. And you kind of see here that he can also move his head down a little bit to look down. Next, here are the gimmicks for the toys. The 2 main gimmicks, I guess you can say, is he has 2 missiles that can be launched from his launcher, and his drill spins. Here it shows a few more accessories that are coming out at a later date, but does not tell you when or how much. This figure himself is $26, and this was actually a cheaper price. He's marked on a website for $29. He's marked on the Bandai official website for $29, but I was able to find him for $26. Before I continue, I want to do a size comparison of the boxes. This is Kamen Rider Fourze. I replaced the one that broke. So when he first came out, he was $21, or I think on the Bandai website 24 or something like that. But I got him for like 21 originally, and you can see the sizes are a little bit different. Okay, next we're going to go into the toy himself. Okay. Most Bandai figures, as you know from my reviews, he has a very simple bubble wrapping, and you just take the top here. There's one or 2 pieces of tape covering it, which I removed prior. And this is Kamen Rider Fourze. Okay. Now, turn him around a little bit. Now, in the past few riders, they've had some very common moving points, and he shares these same points. For example, his arm has a nice ratchet. He's able to move very well. He has a movement here at the bicep. His wrist also moves, and his hand opens. And he can also close 2 by 2 if need be. I'm not sure why that's 2 by 2 but they just, for the last couple of riders and a few other riders in the past, they've done it. He trims at the side. His belt really doesn't have anything to do. His neck, his head moves like such, and it can be moved up, and it can move down a little bit, a decent amount. Oddly enough, the thing that's keeping his head on is not a ball joint. It's actually it's not a ball joint, which is kind of interesting and kind of expensive to have extra joints, extra pieces to keep a head together. But it's all okay. His knee bends and his side turns, just like the other Kamen Riders. The only thing that he has that the other riders does not have, besides the neck, is his heel, where you can move it down like this. I want to briefly show you where you can connect the weapons. He has each of these panels have a little groove where something can be slid in to it. Same with the arm. I want to briefly mention I have a lovely assistant helping me out today with the camera, so that's probably one of the reasons why we have a lot better camera movement. The eyes are not painted on, they're actually glass, which is kind of plastic, clear plastic, which is a nice turn from the other figures that are painted on. I will now put on the modules, I'll show you the modules. This is the drill module. It doesn't turn too loosely, but it does turn. The rocket module, which really doesn't have any moving parts to it. The radar module, which really just goes like this. It flips in and flips out. Okay. And then we have the rocket module, which has 2 places for missiles. He comes with a sprocket. I think it's called a sprocket, for 4 missiles. Now 2 missiles have been removed, but these are the 2 extra missiles. And these missiles slide in very well, and quick in as you hear, and they shoot pretty decently. Just these pretty decent distance. Let me see if I can show you. Okay. To get these things on, you just very simply slide them on through the grooves that I showed you before. The one thing that I'm kind of annoyed about for the design factor is that although this is the black part that's supposed to be for the black module, this can slide on the other forearm module. The same thing can be said for the other leg modules. The drill module can be put on to this as well as this, as I showed. See? And it would have been nicer if they added a different groove for each module, so it wouldn't be so easily to connect each side to each side. Now I mentioned to you that my Kamen Rider always had it had an accident, but to be honest, during the move, I think this hinge had excess force applied to it because of the boxing. I really like the O series, so I had him boxed a lot looser so I can play with him as soon as I got to my new apartment. And for that, I think it got stretched and cracked and it broke. That is a design flaw of the figure, I think, having the soft plastic, and it's also carried on to here, having a soft plastic hinge for the elbow. And when you put something like the rocket ship on, the rocket module on, which I'm trying to do right now. Okay, here it goes. If you try to take it off, you might stretch or put undue pressure on it, so you have to try to be very careful on taking it off, and maybe put a finger here at the wrist, I mean, and slide it off that way. If you just try to pull it off without going from the wrist, you might break the toy, which is a design flaw. I'm not sure if Bandai have seen it or tried to fix it. Okay, I think I will compare him to the other figures right now. Yeah. Well, before I do that, I'll put one or two of these modules on for the sake of it. Let's put his launcher on. To do that, put the foot all the way down. Slide that on. Put that on. The first episode showed him that he had to have a radar module to guide the missiles, which was kind of a neat little gimmick. So here you go. We have the missile and the radar combined. Yay. Okay. And then you have the drill, and there you go. And then we put on the rocket. So he has all four of his things on, and he's ready to go to town and kick some Martian butt, you know, or Mars attacks or whatever. There you go. Here he is. Very good. Okay, now I'm going to try to take some of these parts off and compare him with other toys that are out. I have about a minute or less. I've done this for about 12 minutes. I want to thank you. Just took off his leg modules. Size comparison to O's. O's is a little bit bigger, plus he's also a lot more differently shaped. Fourze has a different size of torso, whereas O's is different, as you can hopefully see, side by side. Here, this is the decade, which is quite smaller than the other guys, and this is double. So he's about the same size of double if you don't count the pointiness of his head. The one thing I do not like about the Fourze character is it's relying on a lot of accessories, whereas previous characters were quite interesting toy gimmicks. Double, as you might know from watching my videos, he's split in half, and you're able to combine him with other toys to make interesting characters. And same thing with O's. He came to 4 parts, and you're able to combine him with different characters to make an interesting combination. Fourze just relies strictly on accessories, which is charming and neat, but it is not all that exciting. Decade had transforming characters, which was kind of cool, although this guy he just was just a basic figure. Anyways, I think I used up my time. Thank you very much for watching my little toy review, and till next time, have a good day.